My beloved friend, this is not a coincidence. If you have opened this message today, it's because heaven has guided you to it. Jesus himself has been trying to reach your heart, not once, not twice, but 3 times. You may have felt it before, that quiet nudge in your spirit, that inner whisper saying, "Pay attention." But this time, it's different. Because this time, the heavens are speaking clearly. Do not reject this blessing again. Before November 5th, something powerful will shift in your life, something heaven has been preparing for a long time. And today, through this message, the angels are asking you to open your heart. Take a deep breath. Feel that peace wrapping around you. That's not imagination. That's divine presence. Before we begin, pause for a moment. If you feel this message resonates with your heart, gently tap the like button, share this with someone who needs hope, and subscribe so you stay connected to more words of light and faith. Because every time you share God's word, you spread healing into someone else's life. Now, let's begin this divine journey. Before every great change in your life, there comes a calling. Not a call that your ears can hear, but one that your soul feels deep within. And that call has already come to you, not once, not twice, but 3 times. 3 sacred moments when heaven tried to reach your heart. You might not have recognized them at the time. They may have come quietly, in moments when you least expected, a small whisper in your spirit, a gentle nudge to pray, or a sudden thought that felt different from your usual thoughts. Those were not coincidences. They were divine invitations. Each one carried a purpose, a message of love and direction meant only for you. Yet sometimes, when our hearts are tired, we brush those moments aside. We tell ourselves we'll listen later, or we convince ourselves it was just our imagination. But even when we turn away, heaven continues to call. God's patience never runs out. His love doesn't expire. He waits, and waits again, until the moment you are ready to listen. And now, that moment has arrived. Jesus is speaking to you again, and this time his words are filled with tenderness and power. He says, "I called you before, and you turned away. I offered you peace, but fear made you hide. Yet still, I love you. Still, I call your name again. Because what I have prepared for you cannot be given to anyone else. You have been chosen for something greater than you've allowed yourself to believe." Those 3 times you were called were not failures. They were steps in your awakening. Heaven watched each time, knowing that when your heart was finally ready, you would hear. And today, you did. You opened this message not by chance, but by divine design. Your spirit recognized what your mind could not. This is the moment heaven has been preparing you for. This message is the 3rd calling, and it carries a blessing that has been waiting for your yes. This time, don't let it pass. Don't turn away again. Because this time, you are stronger, wiser, and ready to receive what's meant for you. Think of how far you've come. Every struggle, every tear, every closed door, they all shaped you into the person who can finally carry this blessing. Nothing you've gone through has been wasted. The pain, the waiting, the confusion, they all softened your heart so you could finally hear. Maybe before, you didn't understand what was being asked of you. Maybe you doubted your worth. But Jesus wants you to know this truth now: you were never unworthy. You were simply being prepared. He's saying to you now, this is your moment. The door you thought was closed will open again. The opportunity you missed will come back around. The love you thought was lost will be restored. I have never stopped working for your good. When God calls 3 times, it's not because he's angry. It's because he's sure of your purpose. He knows what you're capable of, even when you don't see it yet. He calls until your heart becomes still enough to listen, until you can finally feel the truth of his love. Think back on your life. The first call may have come years ago, maybe when you felt that first spark of faith. The second might have come during pain or heartbreak, when you felt broken but still had hope. And this third one, this one comes as a final invitation. Not to warn you, but to bless you. That's why Jesus says, don't let it go again. Because this time, you have the strength to hold it. You've learned, you've grown, and your spirit is ready. You may have believed your time had passed. You may have thought the chance was gone. But grace never runs out. Mercy doesn't keep time the way the world does. Even when you walked away, heaven followed behind you, gently, faithfully, waiting for this moment. And now that you have opened your heart again, the energy around you begins to shift. You might start to feel peace returning where there was confusion. Doors that were closed may start opening again. The same dreams you buried may begin to stir in your heart. Because when you finally respond to the call, everything changes. Your life begins to move in divine alignment. The chains that held you back begin to fall away, and your past hesitation loses its power. Jesus is not counting your rejections, he's counting your courage to rise again. He is not focused on how many times you turned away, he is focused on how beautiful it is that you came back. You are not late. You are right on time. The very fact that you are here, hearing this now, proves that heaven has not forgotten you. Let that truth sink in deeply. You are still loved. You are still chosen. And the blessing that was meant for you is still waiting, untouched, reserved only for you. This time, say yes. Not out of fear, but out of love. Say yes to your healing, yes to your peace, yes to your divine purpose. Because when you do, Jesus will move in ways you never imagined. He will open paths that seemed impossible. He will turn your waiting into wisdom and your pain into purpose. This is your third calling. It's sacred, it's personal, and it's powerful. Don't let it go again. Hold it close to your heart, and allow heaven to finish what it began in you long ago. When heaven begins to move, it often starts quietly. You may not hear trumpets or see lightning across the sky. The changes come softly, almost unnoticed at first, like the way dawn arrives before you even realize night has ended. This is how Jesus works, not always through the dramatic, but through the gentle. He works through peace, through stillness, through the ordinary moments that suddenly begin to feel extraordinary. You might notice that lately, things around you feel different. The same places, the same people, even the same routines carry a new kind of energy. You can't quite explain it, but deep within, you sense that something is shifting, something sacred. That's because when you finally say yes to God's calling, heaven begins to rearrange everything around you to align with His plan. It's like the entire universe starts to move in your favor. Doors that were closed for years begin to creak open. People who once left your life may suddenly return with new intentions. And some people who are no longer meant for your journey will slowly fade away, not to hurt you, but to make space for what's coming. It's all part of the divine order, a heavenly design that ensures you receive what is truly meant for you. Nothing is random now. Every conversation, every delay, every emotion is being used to guide you toward your promise. You may begin to notice signs, small ones at first. A repeated number on the clock. A song that speaks directly to your heart. A word someone says that feels like it was meant only for you. These are not coincidences. They are heaven's language, ways Jesus whispers, I'm here, keep going. When your heart opens to receive, your spiritual senses awaken. You begin to see meaning where others see nothing. You begin to feel peace where others feel fear. And you start to understand that everything, even the delays, have divine purpose. Do you remember those times you cried and thought heaven was silent? It was never silence. It was preparation. Because before every great blessing, there is a season of quiet, a time when God builds your strength in secret. Think of a seed planted deep within the soil. For months, it appears as though nothing is happening. But beneath the surface, life is moving, roots are spreading, strength is growing unseen. Then suddenly, one day, that tiny seed breaks through the earth, and everyone sees what was happening all along. That's what's happening in your life right now. You are breaking through. Your time of hidden growth is ending, and the season of visible blessing is beginning. You've waited, you've prayed, you've endured. And now, heaven is honoring your faith. This time, your blessing won't come through struggle. It will come through surrender. Because when you stop fighting the process and start trusting the timing, grace flows effortlessly. Jesus doesn't want you to chase what's meant for you, He wants you to rest and let it come. He wants you to know that your effort was never wasted. Every tear, every prayer, every night you spent wondering if He still heard you, it was all seen, all recorded, all remembered. Heaven doesn't forget. And when the time comes, everything that seemed delayed will happen so quickly, you'll understand why you had to wait. You'll see why certain people walked away, because they couldn't walk with you where you're going. You'll see why some doors closed, because they led to lesser things. You'll see why your heart had to break, because it had to open wider to receive divine love. This is the beauty of divine timing. When Jesus restores, He doesn't just give back what was lost, He multiplies it. He gives you peace that surpasses understanding, opportunities that exceed your expectations, and relationships that honor your soul. And you'll know it's from Him because it will come without confusion. It will not feel forced. It will not cause fear. It will fit naturally, peacefully, perfectly. But to receive it, you must stay aligned, stay open, stay faithful, and stay still enough to hear. This is the stage where many people become impatient. They say, nothing's happening. But in truth, everything is happening, you just can't see it yet. Heaven's work is often hidden because your faith is being refined in the waiting. Faith is not built when everything is clear, it's built when you can't see the way forward, yet you keep walking anyway. Every time you trust when you don't understand, you move closer to your promise. Every time you choose peace instead of panic, you make room for heaven to work. And every time you say, God, I surrender this to you, the spiritual battle tilts in your favor. Jesus says to you now, you don't have to fight anymore. Just trust me. What I've planned for you is already written, already blessed, already yours. You just need to walk in faith. So walk in faith, even when it's quiet. Walk in faith, even when you can't see results. Because every unseen moment is an investment in your future miracle. The signs will start to increase. You'll feel peace more often. You'll notice that certain things that used to bother you no longer have power over you. That's because your spirit is rising, your vibration is lifting, and heaven is preparing to pour out what's been stored up for you. This is the moment when alignment begins to manifest. Imagine your life as a river, calm, flowing, guided by divine current. When you resist, the current feels strong and painful. But when you surrender and trust, the same current carries you smoothly to your destination. That's what Jesus is doing now, carrying you toward your blessing. He's saying, you've struggled enough. Let me take it from here. So breathe, and let go. You don't have to fix everything. You don't have to control every detail. The same hands that shaped the stars are holding your future. Sometimes, He removes things before blessing you. You may lose people, jobs, or opportunities, not as punishment, but as protection. Because if your heart is full of what isn't meant for you, there will be no room for what is. So if something recently left your life, thank God for the empty space, because that's where your next miracle will land. And it will come gently, like light breaking through clouds after rain. At first, it will feel small, a moment of peace, a random message, a person who enters your life unexpectedly. But soon, you'll realize it was never random. It was divine orchestration. God has already written this next chapter. It's filled with restoration, new beginnings, and deep peace. Your job now is simple: stay open, stay believing, and stay in love. Love for yourself. Love for God. Love for those who hurt you, even if they never apologized. Because love is what opens heaven's gates. When you forgive, you free yourself. When you love, you align with divine frequency. You may not realize it yet, but this inner peace you're feeling right now, that's heaven's confirmation. That's the proof that you're in divine alignment. This is the season where your spirit matures. You stop reacting to every storm, and start trusting the one who calms the sea. You stop asking, "Why me?" and start saying, "Thank you, Lord, for what you're doing, even if I don't understand it yet." That's when miracles multiply. That's when your destiny unfolds naturally, gracefully, beautifully. This time, your heart won't be restless. You'll feel peace, even while waiting. Because now you know that the blessing is not just in what's coming, it's in who you're becoming. You are becoming stronger. You are becoming more patient. You are becoming more connected to your Creator. And as you do, you'll notice that the things you used to chase now start to chase you. Opportunities, love, peace, they all begin to flow toward you because you're finally in divine rhythm. Heaven says, you no longer need to chase. You just need to receive. So keep your eyes open and your heart ready. The signs will come, through people, through nature, through unexpected moments. And when they do, you'll know exactly what they mean. Every confirmation, every encounter will remind you, you are seen. You are chosen. You are loved. And as these blessings begin to unfold, you'll understand why heaven kept calling you 3 times. Because this, right now, is the moment when everything starts to align. This is where the promise begins to take form. It's not just about what's being given to you. It's about who you are becoming through it. You are transforming. Your energy is rising. Your purpose is awakening. And the world will soon see the light that heaven has been preparing within you all along. You've waited long enough. You've prayed long enough. Now, it's your season to receive. Stay faithful, stay humble, and remember. The same Jesus who waited patiently for you to answer the call is now walking beside you every step of the way. He will not let you fall. He will not let you miss what's yours. And soon, you will look back and say, "Now I understand why it had to happen this way." You've entered a sacred turning point, the moment when what was once unseen begins to show itself. Until now, much of heaven's work in your life was hidden. It was quiet. It was subtle. But now, the shift becomes visible. You'll begin to notice the difference not just within you, but around you. The atmosphere will feel lighter. The heaviness that once followed you will begin to lift. Your heart will start to find peace even in situations that once brought pain. This is what happens when divine energy begins to flow freely. The spiritual blockages that once delayed your blessings are being removed. The prayers you thought went unheard are now bearing fruit. And you'll see it in ways that may seem small at first: a message from someone you haven't spoken to in years, a random opportunity that fits your dream perfectly, a feeling of calm after seasons of anxiety. These are not coincidences. They are the visible fingerprints of heaven, reminders that your faith is finally turning into sight. When heaven moves, it moves with precision. Every person who enters your life now is either a lesson, a blessing, or a bridge to your next level. You'll recognize them by how they make you feel: peaceful, inspired, connected to purpose. Because divine connections don't bring confusion, they bring confirmation. People who once misunderstood you will begin to see your light differently. Those who once walked away may suddenly feel drawn back, but this time, things will not repeat as before. You have changed. Your energy has shifted. You no longer attract what drains you, you attract what matches your growth. And this is how you know your blessing is near: when peace becomes your natural state, miracles begin to appear easily. Jesus says to you, "You have cried enough. You have waited enough. Now, I will show you that every tear watered the seed of your blessing. I will restore what was lost, but not as it was before, I will make it greater." You may find yourself revisiting places from your past, not to stay there, but to see how far you've come. You'll realize that what once hurt you no longer has power. The things that used to break you now only remind you of your strength. This is healing in motion. This is heaven rewriting your story. Every time you feel gratitude, you align more deeply with this new energy. Gratitude is the bridge that connects your past to your promise. It turns pain into wisdom, loss into preparation, and silence into trust. So give thanks, not just for what you have, but for what's coming. Because heaven responds to grateful hearts. Every word of thanks becomes a seed, and those seeds are about to bloom in your life. You'll see it in your relationships first. Conversations will begin to flow with more meaning. Old wounds will begin to heal without effort. Some people will reach out with apologies. Others will quietly fade away, and both will be part of your healing. Forgive freely. Forgiveness doesn't excuse what they did, it simply ends their power over your spirit. When you forgive, you reclaim your peace. And that peace becomes the soil where miracles grow. Then, you'll begin to notice changes in your environment. Doors that were once closed will suddenly open. Opportunities that once felt out of reach will find their way to you naturally. People will begin to say things like, "You're glowing," or "Something's different about you." That's not imagination, that's divine radiance. The light within you is finally visible to others. It draws blessings like a magnet. And Jesus wants you to remember something very important here. You don't need to chase what's meant for you. You just need to stay aligned with love, and I will bring it to you. You've spent so long fighting for what you thought you needed. But now, heaven is saying, rest. Let divine timing do the work. Let blessings flow to you instead of forcing outcomes. This is the beauty of divine order, you don't have to push anymore. You simply have to believe, and be ready to receive. You'll begin to see alignment everywhere. The right people will show up at the right time. Messages will reach you exactly when you need guidance. Your intuition will grow stronger, more confident, more clear. You may start having dreams that feel real, dreams of light, of guidance, of peace. These are confirmations that your soul is fully connected to heaven's plan. And when you wake, you'll begin to feel calm, protected, and directed. That's not random, that's Archangel Michael guarding your spirit, making sure no negative energy interferes with your destiny. Because this is the stage where your blessing becomes visible, and where darkness tries to distract. But you are protected now. Your light is shielded. No weapon formed against you will prosper. You don't need to be afraid of what's leaving or what's changing. Every ending is an act of divine mercy. Some doors close not because you failed, but because heaven saw what you couldn't. When something or someone exits your life suddenly, don't chase, bless them and release them. Because that departure made room for something sacred to enter. Soon, you'll look back and realize that even the heartbreaks were hidden blessings. They were redirections. They were divine edits, aligning your story with heaven's version, not your old plan, but the better one written for you long before you were born. You'll notice a new level of flow in your daily life. Where there used to be resistance, things will begin to happen naturally. You'll receive answers before you even ask. You'll meet people who bring peace instead of drama. You'll feel guided without needing to force decisions. This is what it means to walk in divine rhythm, to be guided, protected, and carried by unseen hands. And through all of this, Jesus keeps whispering to your heart. I told you I would never leave you. You thought I was silent, but I was working. You thought you were waiting, but I was preparing the way. You'll begin to see that truth everywhere, in your finances, your health, your peace of mind. Blessings will start to multiply in unexpected areas. Where there was once struggle, you'll find stability. Where there was once fear, you'll feel unshakable faith. And the people around you will notice. They'll see how you carry yourself differently, not with pride, but with calm strength. That calmness is your anointing. It's the evidence of divine favor. Don't downplay it. Don't hide it. You are meant to carry light, and light does not apologize for shining. When others ask how your life began to change, tell them, it wasn't luck, it was faith. It was Jesus answering when you finally said yes. Because when you said yes, heaven said, now. And now, everything that was delayed begins to arrive. Your season of waiting is turning into a season of receiving. Not just spiritually, but physically, in your home, in your career, in your relationships, in your joy. But remember, the blessing is not just what you receive, it's who you become while receiving it. This is why God took His time. He wasn't punishing you, He was preparing you to hold the miracle without fear, without pride, without loss of peace. You'll see why He made you wait. Because if it came earlier, you wouldn't have appreciated it. If it came before your spirit matured, it might have overwhelmed you. But now you are ready. Now, you are strong enough to hold the weight of the blessing. Now, you know how to protect your peace and honor your calling. And as your blessing unfolds, keep humility in your heart. Because every gift you receive is not just for you, it's for others too. You are being blessed so that you can become a blessing. You are being lifted so you can lift others. You are being healed so you can help heal others. That's how divine purpose works. It never stops with one person. It flows outward like light breaking through clouds. You'll start to notice that your words begin to carry more weight. When you speak, people listen differently. Your presence will begin to calm others, because they can feel the peace within you. That peace is contagious, it's heaven flowing through you. So don't be surprised if others begin asking you for advice, comfort, or prayer. It's not because you're better, it's because your spirit has become a vessel of divine love. You've become someone who carries the presence of God naturally. This is your transformation, from seeker to vessel, from listener to messenger. And heaven rejoices, because you have allowed yourself to be used for a greater purpose. Every blessing that comes to you now is part of a larger story, the story of light expanding in the world through you. So when the blessings begin to appear, when love returns, when abundance flows, when peace fills your days, remember this truth: it was never luck. It was never random. It was always part of the divine plan, waiting for the moment you were ready to receive. And now, you are. Heaven smiles upon you. Your angels surround you. Your heart has become the home where God's love now lives. So breathe, smile, and be grateful, because this is not the end of your story. This is the beautiful beginning of your new chapter, the one heaven has been writing for you all along. You are walking in divine alignment. You are protected, provided for, and deeply loved. And Jesus whispers again. You see now, my child? I was never gone. I was always guiding you. And now, the time of hidden blessings is over. This is your season of visible grace. So let the light unfold. Let your blessings manifest. And let every part of your being rejoice, because heaven is finally moving in the open, for you, through you, and with you. When you finally stop fighting the timing of heaven, something miraculous begins to happen. The weight that's been pressing on your heart starts to lift. You begin to feel lighter, not because everything in your life is perfect yet, but because you've remembered that you are not walking alone. For so long, you've been trying to carry everything, the pain, the confusion, the uncertainty, on your own. You thought that strength meant not needing help, not showing weakness, not asking for support. But real strength is softer than that. It's the quiet courage to open your hands and let God take what you can no longer hold. It's trusting that even when you cannot see the whole road ahead, your next step will always be guided by divine light. Archangel Michael walks with you now, closer than your shadow, brighter than the morning sun. He is not just a distant figure from ancient stories. He is present, real, and aware of your every fear, your every hope, your every unspoken prayer. His wings stretch over you like a shield of light. When he moves, fear cannot remain. When he speaks, confusion dissolves. If you have been feeling a sense of pressure or spiritual restlessness lately, that is not a sign of punishment, it's a sign of breakthrough. It means the old energy, the heavy patterns, and the burdens that once chained you are being released. Archangel Michael is cutting cords of fear and doubt that have been binding your spirit for years. You might feel emotions rising, memories resurfacing, tears flowing. This is all part of the cleansing. He is preparing you to stand in your full strength, the strength that comes not from control, but from surrender. This is the moment when the light begins to walk beside you in everything you do. You'll start noticing divine alignment, small signs that remind you heaven is near. You'll think of someone and they'll call. You'll pray for a door to open, and an unexpected opportunity will appear. You'll see repeated numbers, feathers, doves, rays of sunlight breaking through clouds, each one whispering, "You are not alone. You are being guided." These aren't coincidences. They are confirmations that the spiritual world is surrounding you in love. Jesus sends them so that you remember He's closer than ever before. Archangel Michael allows them so that you feel safe in your transformation. The world might still seem chaotic. People around you might still misunderstand your journey. But your heart will begin to feel unshakable peace, a peace that doesn't depend on what's happening around you, but on what's happening within you. This peace is the evidence that heaven is at work. It's not that your life suddenly becomes free of problems, it's that problems no longer have the same power over you. You begin to live differently, breathe differently, and even speak differently. Your words start to carry grace. Your presence begins to comfort others without you even trying. You become a vessel of divine energy, someone who carries the light of heaven into every room you enter. That's what Archangel Michael wants for you. He doesn't just protect you from darkness, he awakens the light within you so strongly that darkness cannot exist where you stand. You become the answer to prayers you once prayed. You become the miracle you once waited for. You see, faith isn't about waiting for everything to be perfect before you believe. Faith is about believing even when nothing makes sense, and still choosing to say, "God, I trust you." It's in those moments, the quiet, unseen ones, that heaven does its greatest work. Jesus is saying to you right now, do not be afraid of what you don't understand. Every delay is divine protection. Every detour is divine direction. You are still being led to the promise I made you. And even when the path feels unclear, remember this truth. God's silence is not His absence. He is working in the stillness. He is aligning hearts, arranging circumstances, and preparing the blessing that will come at the perfect time. Archangel Michael's light surrounds your home, your family, and your dreams. Even when you sleep, that light stands guard. He places a divine shield around your spirit, a shield that keeps you from falling into fear, a shield that keeps negativity from reaching your heart. The next time you feel worry trying to rise, take a deep breath and whisper, "Michael, stand with me." You will feel the shift. The air will grow calmer, your heart will steady, and your thoughts will clear. That's how heaven answers, not always with thunder, but with peace. And when you wake up tomorrow, you'll notice something new. Maybe you'll feel hope for the first time in a long while. Maybe you'll have a sudden inspiration or a sense that something good is coming. Pay attention, because that's the voice of heaven reminding you that the story isn't over. You've walked through storms that others don't even know about. You've cried prayers that only angels have heard. And now, heaven is preparing to reward that faith, not because you were perfect, but because you didn't give up. This is the season of divine companionship. You are not meant to carry anything alone anymore. From this moment forward, when you walk with light beside you. When you speak with grace within you. And when you dream with heaven behind you. So lift your eyes. The journey ahead is bright. The angels go before you. Archangel Michael clears your path. And Jesus Himself walks beside you, whispering, "Be still, and know that I am with you." Even when you cannot see how things will unfold, hold this truth close. You are being guided step by step, and no power of darkness can stop what God has already ordained for you. The light that walks beside you is eternal. It cannot be dimmed, it cannot be taken, and it cannot be lost. It is your inheritance as a child of heaven, your divine protection, your everlasting peace, your promise that love has already won. When you walk with faith, the impossible begins to bend. Not because the world suddenly changes, but because your spirit does. Your energy shifts, your heart opens, and heaven responds. Miracles are not rare, they are simply unseen by eyes that doubt. But once your heart starts to trust, once you allow peace to take root, you begin to notice them everywhere. You might wake up one morning feeling lighter, even though nothing outward has changed. You might find yourself smiling for no reason. You might notice how the sun feels warmer, how the air feels softer, how everything suddenly feels more alive. That's not just mood, that's the vibration of heaven aligning with your soul. It's the moment when what was once stuck begins to move. The relationships that were cold begin to heal. Opportunities you thought were gone return in new, unexpected forms. People you never met before start crossing your path with words, advice, or kindness that you needed at just the right time. This is how miracles begin, quietly, gracefully, naturally. They don't always come with lightning or grand fanfare. Sometimes they come in the form of peace in your heart where anxiety once lived. Sometimes they appear as strength in your spirit where weakness once ruled. Every answered prayer begins within you before it shows up around you. Heaven first transforms your energy, your emotions, your belief, your perspective, and then the outer world follows. That's why Archangel Michael and Jesus have been guiding you step by step. They have been clearing your inner space, removing fear, washing away guilt, and healing old wounds so that your spirit is open enough to receive the miracles waiting in your name. And now, the miracles begin to unfold. Look around you. The signs are already there. That call you've been waiting for, it will come. That door you've been praying would open, it's already unlocking. That dream you thought had died, it's only been resting, waiting for this very season to bloom again. Heaven never forgets what it promises. Even when it seems delayed, it's only because divine timing is building something far more beautiful than you expected. Remember the pain that once made you cry? Soon you'll thank God for it, because it became the soil where your faith grew roots. The very things that broke you are the same things that made you wise enough to receive the blessing now coming toward you. Jesus says, "You asked me for signs, and I am giving them. You asked me for help, and I am sending it. You asked me for strength, and I am filling your soul with it." Miracles are not far from you, they are standing at your door. But you must open it with gratitude. Gratitude is the key that unlocks blessings faster than any prayer. When you start thanking God not just for what you see, but for what you believe is on its way, the entire universe bends in your favor. Wake up each day and whisper, "Thank you, Jesus, for what is already unfolding. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for walking beside me." You don't need to understand how it will happen, only that it will. Faith doesn't ask, how. Faith says, yes. And when you say, yes, heaven takes care of the rest. The miracle of your healing begins when you stop fighting what you can't control. When you forgive those who hurt you, you release the energy that's been blocking your blessings. When you stop doubting your worth, you open space for love, peace, and abundance to flow freely again. That's why Jesus reminds you, you are worthy. You are chosen. You are loved, not for what you've done, but for who you are. He is not blessing you because you're perfect. He's blessing you because he sees your heart. He sees how hard you've tried, how deeply you've believed even when no one understood you, how many times you fell and still stood up again. You've passed tests that heaven itself watched with awe. You didn't even realize it, but every moment you refused to give up, you were proving that your faith is real. And faith like that always attracts miracles. Now, your energy is shifting, and so is your reality. Things will begin to move in your favor. Suddenly, people who once ignored you will start noticing your light. Doors that were shut will start to creak open. Money, opportunities, connections, and ideas will begin to flow where there was once stagnation. Not because you chased them, but because you aligned with them. When you vibrate in peace, heaven mirrors it back to you. When you speak life, life responds. When you choose faith over fear, the universe bows to your decision. Archangel Michael stands beside you, his sword of light clearing every unseen obstacle. Every dark energy that tried to drain you, gone. Every curse, doubt, or negative thought that tried to stop your blessings, dissolved in divine light. Nothing can touch the one who walks under divine protection. And as you move forward, you'll feel this protection more clearly. Moments that would have broken you before will now barely shake you. You'll begin to smile at storms, knowing they cannot drown someone who walks on water through faith. You'll speak calmly to mountains, and they'll move because heaven backs your words. This is your divine rise. This is the moment the heavens begin to reward your endurance. The miracles won't just happen around you, they'll happen through you. You'll speak life into others, and they'll begin to heal. You'll touch situations with faith, and they'll begin to change. You'll carry peace like a fragrance that reminds others of God's presence. And when these miracles unfold, remember, they're not luck, they're love. Every blessing is a conversation between heaven and your soul. Every answered prayer is proof that you were heard. Every shift, every sign, every unexpected gift, they are heaven's way of saying, I told you I never left. So, don't question it when blessings start pouring in. You've earned this light. You've prayed for this peace. You've waited long enough, now it's your time to receive. When you start to see good things happening one after another, don't be surprised. That's what happens when you trust divine timing. It's not coincidence, it's confirmation. The gates are opening, the energy is flowing, and heaven is smiling because you chose faith. Stay open. Stay grateful. Stay kind. Because everything that's coming to you now is sacred. And as this wave of blessings unfolds, Jesus gently reminds you, do not hide your light. Share your story. Speak your truth. Let others know that I am real, that I am still working, that miracles still happen. This is why you were called. Not only to receive light but to become it. To shine it into the world that's forgotten hope. To be the living testimony that love still wins. Your miracle is not the end of your journey, it's the beginning of your purpose. Now that you've been blessed, you'll become a blessing. Now that you've been healed, you'll become a healer. Now that you've found peace, you'll carry peace wherever you go. Because that's what happens when heaven unfolds in your life, you don't just witness miracles, you become one. You've reached this moment for a reason. Not by chance, not by coincidence, but by divine guidance. Every step that led you here, every tear, every silence, every unanswered prayer, was preparing you for this awakening. You are no longer the same person who started this journey. You have walked through the valley of fear and found peace. You have faced uncertainty and discovered trust. You have learned that light is not something you chase, it's something you carry within. Now, heaven calls you to walk forward in that light. To live every day not from fear, but from purpose. To understand that every breath, every act of kindness, every word of love you speak sends ripples through eternity. Jesus whispers to your soul now. You are my hands in the world. You are my heart in motion. Wherever you go, my presence follows. That means when you forgive, heaven heals. When you comfort, angels gather. When you speak love into someone's pain, light is released that reaches further than you can see. Your purpose isn't always grand or loud, sometimes it's as simple as smiling at a stranger, praying for someone silently, or giving without expecting anything in return. Heaven moves through small things done with great love. And Archangel Michael stands beside you still. He will not leave your side. When you face moments of doubt, call on him. When fear tries to creep back in, whisper his name and feel his presence strengthen your heart. He will remind you of who you are, not a lost soul trying to survive, but a divine being created to shine. You have been given spiritual armor, not to fight the world, but to stand firm in peace. You are protected. You are guided. You are held in the palm of divine love. As you step forward from this moment, remember. The world may not change overnight, but you have changed, and that changes everything. From this day forward, walk with gratitude. Thank God in the morning when you rise. Thank Him at night when you rest. Gratitude keeps your connection to heaven open and alive. When challenges come, and they will, do not let them shake your faith. Instead, see them as opportunities to prove how far you've come. Say, I may not understand this, but I trust that God does. Because that's when heaven works its greatest wonders, not in the absence of challenges, but in your peace through them. You are stepping into a season of divine clarity. You will know what to do, where to go, and who to trust. The confusion that once clouded your heart will fade, replaced by quiet confidence. You'll begin to feel guided in everything you do. It won't be forceful, it will be gentle, like being led by the hand of love itself. And as this transformation continues, your life will become a message, a living testimony of what faith can do. People will look at you and see peace they can't explain. They'll feel hope just by being near you. And when they ask how you found it, you'll smile and say, because heaven never left me, and it never will leave you either. That is how light spreads, one soul at a time, one heart at a time. You are part of that light now. You are part of heaven's plan to remind the world of love. So, as this message comes to a close, take a deep breath. Feel the calm that surrounds you. Feel the warmth in your chest. That is not just emotion, that is presence. That is Jesus, placing His hand over your heart and saying, peace be with you, always. And Archangel Michael adds, go forth in strength. Go forth in truth. The world needs your light. From this moment, walk as someone who knows they are guided. Walk as someone who knows their prayers are heard. Walk as someone who no longer fears the future, because you know who walks beside you. Every sunrise from now on will carry a message. You are chosen. You are blessed. You are never alone. And before we part for now, let your heart whisper this final affirmation. I am surrounded by divine light. I am guided by love. I am protected by heaven. I am ready to live my purpose. Carry that with you. Let it echo inside you whenever you need strength. If this message touched your heart today, take a moment to share it, because you never know whose soul might need it next. Someone out there is waiting for a sign, waiting for hope, waiting for light. You can be the one to deliver it. So like this video if it spoke to you. Share it with someone you care about. And don't forget to subscribe, because every new message from heaven may arrive just when you need it most. This isn't goodbye, this is the beginning of your new walk with heaven beside you. May peace, protection, and divine favor follow you from this day forward. You are blessed, and your journey is just beginning.